I think a lot of people in this world think of balance as a really important thing. And I think that's part of why our culture doesn't have a lot of people who are reaching towards their potential. And in that sense, I mean, it's rare to find role models who truly are clicking, are on top of their game and spirit in so many regards, and truly focused on telling their story in the best way that they can. A lot of decisions get people in the way of doing that. And I think one of the biggest lacks of the capability to do so is the lack of being understood. Our world is pretty unfair. And the thing is, fairness is going to increase so far that people aren't going to like fairness. I think we'll get through that stage really quickly, but judgment, the amount of judgment that the world will give people towards their actions, towards their willingness to cooperate, is something that's going to increase. It sounds like a bad thing, but it's actually a really good thing. The amount of judgment exponentially increases until Judgment Day, which can also be referred to as No Judgment Day. Yeah, there's a carrot at the end of that stick, which is important. I find No Judgment Day to be a really good meme, a really, really good Christian meme, because that's truly what it is. It's a point when after it, you will not be judged, you cannot be judged. There will be no more need for your strength or courage. We will have made it. We as a humanity will have made it. Which leader is truly going to help bring that story back to life? That's a really big deal for humanity to have a leader. And we do. We have so many different leaders. What I'm talking about is someone who truly is there for the people. I'm not the leader I want to be yet, but I will do everything in my power to get there. I am committed to being the best that I can. And I realized that when I started this video is such an important piece where so many think of an aspect of balance, which is really a rationalization to not be your fully actualized self. Now, let's also understand why some people would be in the camp of having actualized themselves and also say it's important to have balance. Well, they've found their set, but no one makes your balance. Our balance is simply a perspective. The level and the willingness that someone is committed to the universe is directly representative of their commitment to God. I see too many doing the bare minimum that their local culture looks for to truly embody Jesus's energy, for example. The only balance is doing everything you can for God. That's a balanced breakfast. And if we do that and tell that story to the world, I think we can change this place. I think we can bring God back. Holy shit, you know? That's the way I feel. The fact that I understand my potential, understand how much I can help the world, and why that's the right thing to do is key. That's what religion is. That's what your relationship with the Heavenly Father is. Can you imagine that? I don't share this enough. I think it's important for people in religions today to start leading a movement of not doing the bare minimum. I think our churches in this world really need to stand up for all these really major problems. There's so many people who want to do good for the world. And I honestly think a lot of religious people are so systemic. Really, they think on a systems level and they recognize, well, I can give more to that charity, but I want enough to make sure that my life is good. I can't believe we haven't built better systems. Towns, religious towns. Why have we not built that? Higher connection to purpose and meaning. Imagine a place. That's where we're going, so why don't we start there? My name is Jack. I am going to completely change the world with my understanding of systemic altruism. You know, I, for a little bit, went down a path of seeing how I could become a trillionaire. And when I say that word, I'm like not even joking. I'll tell you exactly why. I was building a social media application. And as you guys know, crypto, Bitcoin, and all these altcoins, they didn't reach mass market. They're supposed to be used inside of platforms, not just be an investment asset. That's not their utility. The ability to do seamless, quick transactions is. And having that infrastructure in place is really going to change the world when more companies adopt it. But Web3 gave itself a bad name from all the scammers. So, plus the Sam Bankman-Fried, which there might be some people who don't love the idea of crypto getting big. And who knows how much they're willing to make sure it doesn't. But given that it threatens the state power, the political class, which side of politics does politics go on? Because politics is not for the people today. It's for the political class. There is a separation. We do not have a democracy. That's a systemic problem. The other systemic problem is that we don't even talk about these ideas. You know? It's like, I think younger people do it. You know, like younger people call them naive or being idealistic. They're just not getting distracted by all the bullshit. Very few people have ever been in control of their minds because everyone requires friendships. And so there's this culture that makes it easier to devolve inside of. In Rome, they had philosophical schools that would teach people about life and how to think about it, how to do critical thinking. Bringing that back, that energy and that spirit is so important. And the core of why it's getting hollowed out, why society is getting less connected is from the way these phones are set up. People are curious when mind control could become a big thing on this planet. Excuse me? Tapped into almost 100% of the population at this point. Oh yeah, our phones control who we are and what we do. Yeah, the top scientists in the world are helping to engineer these things because they're the most profitable and expensive companies in the world. Why is that? They have the most power. Now, is the power being used to treat us the best people? Well, they do an engagement algorithm. What does that mean? Okay. So the smartest people in the world with billions of dollars have trained supercomputers to understand exactly what is going to just take up more of our time. And it turns out that feeding extremist stuff, controversial stuff, building kind of two polarized amounts of people in a group online, because that creates a flywheel effect of returning to your side and getting upset to stay online, is what we have controlling all of the world's information. Oh, that's exciting to recognize, man, because all we gotta do is recognize it. Knowing the problem is half the solution. I've got the other half, and I've got the full plan for it, and I'm very, very excited to announce that these discussions that I just talked about and that I've been having with an amazing lady with so much foresight has led to a big, big announcement in my life. So there's someone who has been friends with Larry Page, Sergey Brin, Peter Thiel, way before they were billionaires. She started something called Foresight Institute 37 years ago. I'd been to some vision weekends out here in the Bay. They're very prestigious. They attract a different sort of mindset of people, and they've had donators who are massive billionaires who care about the world's future. And she made me feel so seen, so much so that she pushed me towards making this all happen. When people really see your value, there's a willingness to connect. It's lovely. I think it's somewhat of an act of love. Belief in people. I love the idea of being more in love with life. Who wouldn't, right? That's why I don't believe in some balance. Because I recognize that strength, courage, virtue, these are all scarce resources that will deplete. Like if you just keep that in your context window, you will gain more strength, courage, and virtue. Just think to yourself, wow, I'm not going to be able to do that forever. And it's most valuable that I do that now. It's like if you have a check, and if you cash that check, now it's worth the most amount of money. And every day you wait, it becomes less valuable until eventually the check's worth nothing. And this makes sense to us because our brains are hardwired to understand standard currency. And standard currency sadly doesn't value just the actual value we give to the world. But obviously that's a golden value metric. That's what true gold is, what true wealth is. How much good did you do for the world? Really? What a fun type of competition. Who can be the better hero? God, you gotta love those people. The pureness. We don't have enough of them. I'm returning to that. I'm telling you that that's where I know I've been going since I was 18. My parents saw a shift. I would actually love their input. I'm gonna ask and I'll clip their response. When do you think Jack became obsessed with major success or started telling you he would get there? There's a curiosity there for sure. Like how many people even actually believe it and keep a consistent belief? Because I think that's a pretty important metric. Persistence is everything, and it's not measured for enough in betting on people. My persistence is the number one reason why I'm tracked on top of the method to bring the biggest systemic solutions to the world's biggest problems to fruition. That is what I'm sitting on. That is what my life represents. So grateful for that opportunity. Now, on the flip side, it hasn't been an easy journey without a lot of lessons. My willingness to always sacrifice and surrender and give everything I have is positive and negative. I think that the sooner I really tell everyone what I think and where I'm going and help share that vision, the more I'll find a network of people who believe in you, right? That's important because that's how the world goes. We believe in things. And some people represent certain things. And I want to be judged by the things I represent. And I want to be the best person in the world at charity. That's what I realized while building this social platform, was that this has to be built for pure good. I was making goodness a piece of it. I wasn't maximizing goodness. And no one really does that. Everyone maximizes for normal profit. Because when you maximize for goodness, unless you do then maximize for a form of profit, but to run the best nonprofit. Damn. I would just like to say thank you so much to Christine for believing in me. 37 years of running Foresight Institute, I believe, and comes out of retirement to support Jack and join the venture and the board of the philanthropy or nonprofit organization. So we have a venture side and we have a nonprofit side. Yeah, I mean, when it IPOs, that's going to be quite a stock market. Stories are becoming more important in the world. EQ is becoming more important in the world. I'm trying to always reveal my position in the world and basically how I'm going to get there. You know, that's the biggest thing that's normally missing from people who have a sense of wanting to do the most good, is really laying it out there and then just like hammering storytelling every day. Like, follow me, check me, test me, give me feedback as much as you can. I'm willing. I'm here for it. I, in fact, will build systems to give feedback to the world. Next, I would like to talk about a company idea that Jacob Cole wants to run together. He raised $11 million at a $50 million valuation for a notes app that has some big ideas for the future. And he's persistent. Those things mixed with the Bay Area, with the connections of venture capital, is like such a big winning bet. It's crazy what people take to the market and raise with. So I'm in front of my visions and my reality being on a cut path to go to a lot of the billionaires and biggest funders in the world of positive plans. And my plan has been evolving in such a drastic, huge way because I've been so focused on making that happen. I am in front of this thing and I just want to find people who are like capable of helping me see that and stay on that path as much as I can. Like, I'm down to live stream my life, do some sort of a Truman Show. I think that'll be important. I think there's an importance in this world. A leader goes fully transparent in the way they live in the world. You know, there's just a lot of trust there. There's a pureness. The relationship is pure because there's a support network. That's why I seek to tell my story more.